So last Monday of the month, y'all, just a few announcements because Brianna is traveling. Oh, hello, Stephanie. I'm just going through announcements. So you guys know $10 off. Live for no más through tomorrow. Use that like everywhere and all of your no's and all of the things. And I'll tell you a secret, the Diamond Insider just came out and you'll get to use it next month too. So use the heck out of that. The second is beat your best. You guys know we're pushing hard for it. I know that a bunch of you are already at Success Club and I'm super proud of you. And Steph and Bree, time's not over, girlfriends. So keep kicking it. And then the third announcement I have is they're doing the new Success Club reward. So if you guys want that 6-month reward come December, you got to start your streak now. I'm going to meet you. So hit Success Club this month, get it done, get your hat this month, and then you work for their 3-month streak and then 6-month streak. So all good things. And then recognition I have, shout out to my girl Jacqueline going diamond this week, and Jill and Bree. You guys are super a part of that. I'm so, so proud of y'all. Oh, I'm so proud of y'all. I just can't even. And I know it's Brianna's birthday, so she's traveling today, and she hit Emerald this week, which is huge, like so many things. Steph had her highest paycheck last week. I'm so, so proud of you. And I don't know where Danielle is, but she should be on. She hit $2,000 so far with Beachbody. So y'all, it's just proof what you can do when you put in the work. So does anybody else have any other recognition they want to shout out? Anybody? All right. Well, I asked Mackenzie to get on tonight because she's just somebody that, well, first off, we met on a Success Club trip because she came as a guest. And I really think that she drew a line in the sand. And that was, gosh, 3 years ago. And wow, old. But she's always had this just zest and energy for what she does, and she's just been so authentically herself. And I think that is something that you can't buy, right? You can't create. It's not something, a skill you can learn. Well, it's a skill you can bring more out of. But I wanted her to get on tonight and share a little bit of, okay, what do you do at the end of the month? Because she's really good at hitting Success Club. She hits like SC 20 to 30 every single month. I'm like chasing her on the boards. Like, oh, Kenzie can do this, I can do it. But also she's just real, and she's building a team of people just like her. And isn't that what we all want? So I thought it'd be great to have an outside speaker on the team call tonight and just give you guys a different viewpoint, because you guys hear from me all the time. Also, I should say congratulations to all of you. I didn't even say this because we're 4-star qualifying right now. So none of that would be possible without y'all. And I can't even say I'm so proud of you. And after all the crap that we've gone through in July, to still do that is like amazing, and proof that, you know, when we lean in, we do things together, amazing things can happen. So Mackenzie is actually in our larger team. So I know she can totally speak for, you know, leaning in what it takes to go all in with your team. And I'm going to shut up now and let her just like run with it. But if you guys have questions along the way, throw them in the chat, and make sure y'all take your Insta story that you're on the team call and tag out your friends that aren't here. Thank you, Mackenzie.
Oh my gosh, no, thank you. It's funny because like I was thinking about meeting Danielle, and I was like, I feel like I was just this little girl who like didn't really know much about coaching, but I was like super psyched about it. But I saw these other people who were like doing things with it, and I was like, oh, like, I don't know, like I could probably never be hitting Success Club 20. That was like crazy to me. Like helping 10 people a month was like the biggest goal of my life. And then like, you know, Daniel, I think you were maybe 2-star at the time or 1-star. I know you were beyond diamond. And I was like, oh my gosh, stars. Saturday. Like I was so starstruck by everything in this business, because a part of me didn't quite believe yet that I was capable or worthy of really making something happen in this business. And I'm going to talk about that more, but I want to congratulate you guys, because that is seriously huge that you're a 4-star qualifying team. Like being someone that, like she said, in the trenches all the time, we all work hard at this. We all give it our all. And that is not something that happens every day. And you guys should just be so proud of yourself. So thank you, Danielle. Congratulations on your 6-figure earning. That's so awesome. I just want to say I'm really honored, and you guys have an awesome leader. So I can't wait to hopefully add a little bit of value and give you a different mindset behind Success Club, because I feel like everything in this business comes down to mindset and every single thing that we do, which is kind of annoying, right? Because we don't just walk into a job, clock in, clock out, go home, peace out. Doesn't matter who we were that day. You know, we're gonna get paid because we put our time carded. They don't do that anymore. You guys know what I mean. But the point of it is that everything relies on your energy. It relies on your mindset. It relies on, you know, the work that you're putting into it, and kind of the heart that you put into it. So I want to first tell you that I never in 1,000 bajillion years, there was a girl on our team named Kelsey Smith, and you guys might know her from the Drop the Cookie page or just everywhere because she's so awesome. And she used to just like crush Success Club, and she still does. And I would like look at her. If you're like in your team page, you're like, I can never do that. Like there's just like that is kind of like you're going into the month with like this like playing to not lose mindset. So I don't know how many sports people we have in here, but I used to go into the month, and I've always hit Success Club ever since I became a coach, but it was like I was like clawing my way there. Like I was begging people, and it became like not fun. It became inauthentic. It took all of the joy out of what we do, because I looked at Success Club like I have to hit Success Club, rather than like, I can't wait to help people this month. It's going to be so much fun. And when you go into the month, like how many of you guys see our coach office on the first of the month, and it's like SC0, and you're like, oh, there's that 0. I worked so hard for that 6 or 10, or, you know, and then it goes right back down to 0. And it's like this mindset of like, you go into the month like, I hope I don't not hit that goal, or I hope I hit that goal. And it's like this, like you're playing to not lose rather than playing to win. And there's never a thought that crosses my mind that I would potentially not earn Success Club 10 or higher. That's just never been a thought that I even entertain, because it's not necessary. Like whatever I'm thinking is going to happen, right? So if I go into the month and I'm like, I'm probably only going to be able to help 3 people this month, then I'm probably going to help like 1, because I'm setting the bar so low, and I have such a like low expectation of myself. And you know, I don't know, sometimes I feel like people look at Success Club and they're like, well, is it really that important? All right, what if I miss it 1 month? It's no big deal. It's fine. What if I don't hit my goal 1 month? It's no big deal. It's fine. And it's literally the business. Okay. Like every single thing in this business comes down to helping people. There is not one other way to build this business than helping people. And that comes down to Success Club. You're not going to bring in new coaches unless you're hitting Success Club. You're not going to have any retention. Your volume's not going to grow. You're not going to have any commission. You're not changing lives. And it just completely kind of like deflates your business in a way. So that could also put a lot of pressure on it, right? Like you're afraid of not reaching it. But that's going to come across in your conversations and make you kind of sound like fearful and salesy. And I'm going to tell you how to like navigate your way through that. But I want to get back to this whole like mindset around playing to win, playing to not lose. If you think about a championship game, and this is just the best way for me to like mentally picture this. If there's 2 teams, one on one side is like super confident, like nothing is getting in their way. They're 100% winning the game. There's, you know, it doesn't matter what the other team does. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what their score is. Like they're not walking out of that arena unless they are the champions of that game. And then you have the other team that's like, kind of afraid of what the other team's going to do. They're a little worried. They're not really sure if they have what it takes. They're doubting their abilities and their efforts. And they're kind of like going in with that, I hope I don't lose, rather than there's no possible way that I'm going to lose. And the reason that I use that kind of like, I guess that like metaphor is teams that go into play, like to win, they have a game plan and their belief can't be shaken. Meaning that if somebody tells you no, it doesn't matter. If, you know, somebody doesn't comment on your challenge group post that you put out, it doesn't matter. You do another one. If, you know, you don't hit Success Club, if you don't hit your goal by the date that you set to hit your goal, it doesn't matter. You keep pushing it. If it is the, what is it, the 29th, 30th? If it's the 30th and you're still not in Success Club, it doesn't matter, because you are going to make it happen no matter what, like, happens. Okay. So, you know, we all have the fear though, right? Like, what are they going to say? What am I going to post? How many of you guys are like, I don't have anyone to talk to, right? Or I don't have anyone to invite, or no one's liking my posts. That was literally me at the end of June. And the reason being was I only hit Success Club 12 in June, which is still super awesome. And I'm super proud of that. And those are lives changed. I'm not taking away from that. Well, I didn't hit my goal though. And the reason is I wasn't taking the time to talk to people, like to genuinely have conversations. Ding, ding, ding. It takes time. And that can feel frustrating sometimes, right? We want to like, we get so excited maybe if somebody comments or they reach out to us and we vomit all over them. So I'm also going to tell you how to not do that, but you have to get out there and you have to do the things. And every single time I go search new hashtags on Instagram, or I go to my explore page, or I reach out to new people on Facebook, I'm thinking about the people who need to lose the 20 pounds, who need to lose the 100 pounds, who are trying to escape depression and anxiety, who are literally fighting for their life, and they don't have an answer unless I put myself out there that day. Like, that might seem like it's kind of like crazy, but that gets me in a good mindset, because I know that I'm putting myself out there with the best intentions. And I also want to say that it's okay to raise the bar when it comes to this goal. I feel like sometimes people are like, well, I only want to shoot for Success Club 6 because I'm just here to help people. I'm not really worried about like the sale or the income, and like I just want to help people. And I'm like, okay, so why would you only want to help 3 people when you could help like 15 or 20 people a month, right? But I feel like because Success Club is a goal in this business that is directly connected to us making a sale, there's like this weird, like, I don't want to have big goals when it comes to this, because that might mean that I'm in this for the wrong thing. And that is so 1000% not true. If you guys have any like fear of being a salesman or earning an income because of what you do, seriously stop and think about all the other ways that people earn incomes in this world, and ask yourself if this is the best possible way to earn an income. Because everybody has to earn an income. Like, period, blank. Just everyone has to earn money in this world. No one just gets off by not earning money and living without having to pay bills and do things that require spending money. So when I help 10 people a month with challenge packs, I'm like, heck yes, that is so freaking awesome, because those people's lives are on the brink of being like seriously changed. Okay. So take that like negative thought process, and I'm only touching on this because I used to feel this way. Take that out of your mind and just let it go, because it's only going to hold you back. All right. So, belief. Do you seriously believe, like right now, that if you sign someone up, you can change their life? Because a lot of times we don't go for it because we don't think we're good enough to help them, or we don't think we're going to be enough for them, or we don't think we're enough, period, to send the invite, put the post out there. And, you know, I want you guys to think about like your hairstylist, right? It just comes to mind because they have like their little thing on their mirror. They have a certificate, right? They're literally certified to cut your hair, even though we've all probably had some really bad haircuts. And there's no Beachbody college. Like, there's no like, go get your Beachbody degree and you have a certificate to help people. There's not anything like that. You're actually in Beachbody college now. It never ends. Great news is you don't have loans afterwards, and you can just earn money from day one. But nobody is like giving you permission. No one is giving you a sheet of paper that's like, you can do this, you're capable. Like, here's your certificate, go invite people and hit Success Club. No one is telling you that you're enough. You have to do that for yourself. You have to like self-certify yourself to be enough to help people change their lives. And the reason that you're enough is you started leading the day you signed up. Like, you became a leader because you started leading yourself. And that's what I think is so like on point about our process is, yeah, I don't have a gym to go to where I have someone screaming in my ear to do more squats. I have to make the decision on my own. You know, I had a coach, I had a challenge group, I had all those things, but we still have to make the choice on our own to press play, make our Shakeology, get on these Zoom calls and do the things. So you have to find a way within yourself to qualify yourself, because otherwise, you know, you're gonna just subconsciously be holding yourself back. You're not gonna ask the person that you've been thinking about asking for the last couple months. You're not going to invite the girl that, you know, liked your post for the very first time today, because you don't take yourself seriously. So why would they take you seriously? You know, you are the professional in the conversation. And this took me a while to figure out and understand that, like, I can be in control of the situation without being some like creepy, manipulative weirdo and jerk. You know, like, I think like in sales, everyone's like, oh, they manipulate. I'm like, I'm not manipulating you. I am directing you to what you truly need. You just have like 10 years of fears that we have to get through, right? We have 20,000 failures that you've experienced that we have to build, like, you know, get through and help you understand that you're capable of doing this. It's not manipulating someone. That's just taking the lead to help them get to where they truly want to be. They're just afraid to get there themselves. They need that hand, and you're that hand. So with that being said, like, energy is everything. And I'm not always like stoked to work this business. I'm sure you guys aren't either. As fun as this is and as awesome as what we do is, bottom line is, like, it's still work. It still requires work. And I just told a new coach on my team today, we had our very first one-on-one call. I'm like, I'm going to be straight with you right now. I know this probably looks super fun. I know I talk about all the amazing things that happen. I try to talk about the work that goes into it too. But at the end of the day, guys, like, you know, the reward is really fun when we change the lives, but we have to send the messages. We have to put the posts out there. We have to send the invites. And if you're sending something and in your heart, you're like, oh gosh, I hope they don't reject me. Like, they're probably going to say no. They're probably not going to respond. This is so awkward. I am like so embarrassed right now. I cannot believe I'm sending them this message. Oh my gosh. If you have that like feeling inside of you, going to come across to them. Same thing with price. If you're like, I hope they don't think this is too much. I hope they don't think this is awkward that I'm inviting them. I hope they don't think I'm trying to sell them something. I hope they're not like freaked out by this and things like that. Have you guys ever like thought about that weird thing when you're like talking to someone on the phone and you can't see, this is before FaceTime, and you're chatting on the phone, you can't see their face, but you know if they're smiling or not. It's the weirdest thing. But like, you can tell if someone's smiling on the other end. You can tell like what's going on. That's what this is like. So every time from now on, you're about to press send, smile, or, you know, have a different feeling in your heart. Be like, I'm so excited for this person. You know, just be excited about what you're doing. Don't look at these tasks as like, oh, this is just what I have to do to hit successful and be successful. Like, it doesn't suck that what we have to do equals really awesome things, because a lot of other people have jobs that things that they have to do for their jobs really suck. I used to bartend, and I used to have to crawl under coolers and dig out lemons that had probably been there for weeks and people's nasty drinks. That is a gross have to do job, okay, for my job. This is exciting because we're talking to people, and rejection is not a reflection of you. It is not a reflection of you. And the longer you like put yourself down, the more you're keeping yourself from other people. And I know that's like way easier said than done, because I'll be the first to tell you, in June, it felt like I was being told no. Like, I mean, it just happens sometimes. There's more no's than yeses some months. Like, it is not like I sit over here, or Danielle sits in her, you know, and sits and works and is like, yes, awesome, cool, sign up. Yes, awesome, cool. Like, we get told no just as much as you guys, probably, if not more. Same with Elizabeth, or like, everyone gets told no. It does not matter who you are in the business. You get told no, period. And a lot of times no is a reflection of like fear, uncertainty. It's a reflection of like they don't trust you yet. They're still a little worried of like, are they going to fail? And your job as the professional in the conversation is to be like, so say they're like, no, I'm just not interested. Sorry. Well, why not? Or like, well, why? Like you were kind of interested before. Have you ever had that person that's like super down and then like 3 days later they're like, oh, I don't think this is gonna work for me this month. That is literally fear. 5 second rule, right? Mel Robbins talks about it. Your mind, it takes 5 seconds for your mind to talk you out of something. Imagine if you give somebody 3 days, they're running 500 miles down the road, right? They're freaked out. That is just fear. And a lot of times it's always fear, even when it comes to money, because we know a lot of people have the money. Sometimes they don't. That's okay. We know a lot of times they have the money, but they don't want to invest in it. I was so much quicker to put $150 into my hair in college than I was another diet because I'd failed so many times over again that it was too painful to give somebody my credit card information. So those are things that you just want to keep in mind because like I said, no is not like, you are not good at this. I don't want to work with you. That is not what that is. It's just, I'm afraid. I'm not ready to commit. I need to keep watching you. Like, I'm not quite sold yet. I'm really freaked out. So on top of that, you want to make sure you have something to invite to though. Because one of my coaches said something to me that like, oh my gosh, a light bulb went so off in my head. She's like, well, I'm not going to set my group date until I have 3 people signed up. And I was like, wait, no, it goes the other way around. If you are waiting to set the date for your next challenge group until you have 3 people signed up, you're walking into that with the hope you don't lose mindset. That's a lack mindset. That is a, playing from behind type of mindset because you don't have faith in yourself when you do it like that, right? If you set that group date and you're like, I know I'm going to have 3 to 5 people in this group, period, end of story. I'm going to go work to find them. That creates this whole new energy in your posts, whole new conversation, like energy in your conversations because you believe in yourself. It's crazy. But I'm telling you, like I used to just claw to hit Success Club because I was like, okay, I can't set my date. I can't open my group until I have these 3 people. And once I started like setting the date for the group, no ifs, ands, or buts, this is when it's starting. That's when things started to change because my belief in myself and my abilities and my posts and my conversations started to change. So you don't want to do that because you're going to get into panic mode. And panic mode is salesy, desperate, inauthentic. It takes the fun out of it. And then Success Club becomes this stressful thing. And the minute Success Club feels stressful, even if you're not in Success Club right now and you're stressing, the minute it feels like stressful, you just want to take a step back and you want to be like, this is not stressful. This is fun. This is exciting. Fun and exciting they don't mean you don't put work into it. It means that you need to make sure you're staying grateful. You're staying excited for what you have to offer people. And I'm telling you, like the universe is going to like send you someone. It's crazy. They're going to like drop someone on your post and you just never saw it coming. You're going to think of this one person that you should probably invite from high school that you haven't talked to in 10 years. And you're going to think of people. More is going to be able to come to you and like, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for, but blossom. I don't think that's it. But more is going to come to you when you're open to it. But when you're closed off and stressed out and freaked out, then you're not going to see the fruition that you can. So once you know the date of your challenge group, I started doing a prep week. And this was a game changer. It's kind of for prep, but it's also for those stragglers. So those people that signed up and they're like, super excited and they're ready to go. They have their package. I'm putting them in the prep group. That gives them something to immediately plug into. So I'm going to immediately encourage them to drink Shakeology. I'm going to start walking them through the program materials, the group, what to expect, just really like basic stuff, giving them an idea of what we're walking into here. But through that group, that's going to be my last call week. And all those people that I've been talking to that are kind of on the fence, I'm going to go back to them and I'm going to be like, hey, I have this group. It's closing. We've talked about it. And I don't want you to lose your spot because, and I'm going to insert all the reasons that they told me they wanted to join me. That's a really important part about conversations. I like to call it peeling back the onion. Because, I mean, if you think about it, your best friend, right? I mean, it takes some time to get close to your best friend or your closest friends. And typically you're going to relate and like it's going to click and trust is going to be built when you get kind of deep, right? And you like talk about your fears and your insecurities. And those are the kind of things that you have to get to in the conversations. So I don't ever like go into it and I don't know, like I said earlier, kind of like word vomit. So say this girl like likes my post or something and I'm talking about Lift 4, but I'm not technically talking about Lift 4 because I would never put the name of the program in the post, right guys? Always want to create curiosity. You never want people to know what you're doing, but you want to make sure they know you're doing something. So let me get to that. But in the conversation, so I'm like, hey girl, thank you so much for liking my post. I really appreciate that. Could you relate at all with what I was talking about? And I always ask myself when I'm putting a post out there, like, could someone relate to what I'm talking about here? Could I message every single person that liked this post and be like, could you relate at all to what I was talking about? So maybe I'm talking about balance and treats, or maybe I'm talking about a transformation, or maybe I'm talking about the goals that I want to achieve. And that could go for coaching, that can go for challenge groups, but that is such an easy way to start the conversation and just kind of get it to that deep place. Because who knows what they're going to say. Maybe they're going to be like, no, not really. I just liked your shirt. And that's awesome too. Or they're going to be like, yes, like I seriously cannot get myself motivated. I struggle so much with that. And then I'm going to be like, so what do you do? Do you have like a workout program that you're doing? Do you have a calendar that you follow? Because I've really found it super helpful that having a calendar to follow and just knowing what I have to do every day and having this group behind me supporting me is just, it literally takes things to the next level. I used to feel exactly how you feel. Do you think something like that would help? And I didn't invite her to the group. I didn't put a bunch of stuff on her. I just told her a little bit about what I was doing. And then I asked her another question. So and then the same thing with like, what's your nutrition like? Well, for me, I used to struggle really bad with like cravings and overeating and binge eating and drinking. And then I found this smoothie that is just the most incredible blend. It's helped my digestion. And I have this super chill portion control system that I follow. It does not freak me out like every other diet did. And I know I sound like I'm just rambling like a psycho person, but that's how I talk. And that's how I talk in my conversations. Like Danielle, we could never give you the perfect script. And I love how she was like, being authentic is a skill that you learn more. Like you learn how to pull it out of yourself, but you can't teach someone how to be authentic. You can just teach someone how to pull it out of themselves more. But there's no way to teach authentic because you're just being yourself. And no one can teach you that except yourself. So just think about when you're talking, like, how would you talk to your best friend? And this stuff I'm sorry if this sounds like really annoyingly simple, but this is honestly how I do it. I peel back the onion, ask them questions, ask them their fears. Be bold enough to ask the hard questions because you don't ever that's how trust is built. That's how awesome relationships are built. And then when it gets to like giving them the price and talking about joining, they're so like on board because you didn't try to sell them anything. You just told them what you were doing. You showed them how it was going to be valuable to them. And that's really important, guys, because sure, 170, 160, 200, we think that's a great deal because we know how valuable Shakeology is. We know the value in our programs being online and being accessible all the time. But if I don't understand why that's going to like directly solve a problem for me, then that's not a good deal to me at all. I'm just like, oh, that's cool. Like that's cheap, things like that. Right. But like, if I'm struggling with working out and seeing results, if I have no idea what I'm doing with nutrition and I need support, then yeah, that is going to be great for me. But if I don't help that person like pull it out and like get it out so they actually see it themselves, they're not going to see the point. So when it comes to like dropping price, I never put the price before I explain everything. So I always like ask a bunch of like, I know this like sounds weird, but I like talk about the group and then I'm like, how does that sound? And then they're like, that sounds awesome. And then I'm like, do you want to learn about the best package that I think is like perfect for you? I don't go right into it because I want to keep making sure they're in. Every single question I ask is them just continuously like convincing themselves that they're in, right? Like it's almost like we're like making them verbally commit like over and over and over and over again. So then I tell them everything, right? And I don't just say 700 workouts, superfood smoothie, me as your coach, virtual support group. I go back to like why each one of those things is going to be really awesome for them. Like if they're a mom and they have no time, I'm going to be like, you're going to have this Netflix of fitness that you can turn on and get your workout in 30 minutes. It's going to help you so much during your kids' naps if you have to work out early in the morning. And then you're going to have that smoothie, remember, that is going to be so great for you when you literally have no time to go make any meal. And don't worry about falling off or anything like that because that's why we have this community. And I'm just going to add those things in and then I'm like, how does that sound? And I'm going to compare it with like, it's $2,000 worth of content. It's freaking insane. And yes, I talk like that. I literally blow that up like you would not believe because somebody just told me the other day that it's $200 a month just for her to go to the gym. And that made my stomach hurt. I couldn't afford that. I would never pay that. So honestly, like I remind myself daily, I can't believe Beachbody only charges $170, $160. So then they're like, yes, that sounds amazing. Then you go in to say, oh my God, it would typically be like thousands and thousands of dollars, especially because you have your own personal trainer, but I'm going to bundle it for you for $170. How does that sound? And then, maybe they're going to say, yes, sign me up. Or they're going to say, no, not right now, or they're not going to respond for a couple of days. They're going to ghost you, which is my fave. So the ghosters or the knowers, right? Those are the people that I like honestly secretly love because I feel like they're like your biggest skeptics, which means they're probably going to commit the hardest because they don't want to like, I don't know. They're just like the people that really need their onion pulled back, right? And so I'm going to continue to be like, hey girl, like we talked about this and I feel like you were super excited. I'm not really sure what changed, but the group's about to close and I didn't want you to lose your spot. Are you still interested? I just always make it about them. Yeah, of course it means that we could earn 2 successful points or we could earn a commission. But at the end of the day, like it's truly about whether or not like this person takes the step and completely has the opportunity to transform their life. And that's what it's about. Especially when you go through these conversations, guys, and you get to know these people and you get to understand who they are and like their struggles, and all that you want for them is them to commit. And that's important to know that it's okay to keep responding and keep asking and keep coming into their inbox. Because I think I followed up with someone like 6 times without them responding. Yeah. And she was like, I really appreciate you just continuing to think of me every single month. And I was like, I never thought of it that way. But like, don't you think it would be weird if you just asked someone one day and then like didn't ask them the next month when you had your next group? Don't you think it looks better if you continuously ask them, because you're doing that for them? You're not doing that when it's good on your terms. You're doing that and offering them that opportunity every single month. And then once you bring these people in, you want to commit to helping them see success. I know this isn't about getting people and hitting Success Club. This is about like, if you're truly helping people see results consistently, you are going to naturally have so much more fun and hit such higher success club numbers because you're so on fire about the opportunities for people that you're talking to and people bringing people in. Like, it's just like this natural thing. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It comes back to energy, right? Like, when you're excited about the fact that like you just help someone lose 10 pounds in a month, and now you have this next group coming up and you have the opportunity to help another person lose 10 pounds in a month. Like, imagine how like much more confidence and belief you're going to have in yourself in your conversations, because that's what it comes down to. I don't have a problem responding and following up to someone when they ghost me 3 to 4 times before my group closes. You might think that's crazy. I don't. We had an in-depth conversation. I care about them, and I'm not going to let the group close until they literally tell me, no, I don't want to join you. And then I'm like, okay, do you mind if I ask you next month? Right? Like, there is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing salesy about that. I hate that word. You know, I used to bartend and I was a great cheesesteak seller. And that is because I was obsessed with the cheesesteak at that bar. I literally ate one every shift. That's why I gained 35 pounds. And I loved it. And every single time somebody walked into that bar and sat down, I would recommend the cheesesteak. And I had no problems doing that. There was nothing weird about that. I loved it. I thought it was delicious. And I asked every single person. So why is it in something like this that we're afraid to do that? All we're doing is transferring a love of something to somebody else. Yeah, we have to ask them or we have to tell them about it. But if I just saw a great movie, I'm going to probably go tell the next 5 to 10 people that I talk to just naturally. I'm like, oh my God, you got to see Chris Pratt. He looked so good in, you know, Fallen Kingdom. See it in IMAX. It's worth it. And yeah, going to the movies is like, what? If I saw a movie in IMAX, it's like, what, $20? But if somebody wants to see that movie, they're going to find a way to spend that $20. No matter how expensive going to the movies is these days, right? Like, no matter how expensive getting healthy is these days, if you help people see why that is like going to solve a problem for them or fulfill that need, they're going to be in. So the last thing is just kind of like, when you think about your posting, think about it the same way, with the same type of mindset and same type of energy as your conversations. It's okay to constantly talk about what you're doing. And I almost never anymore do a post that's like, I'm looking to help 5 people in this next group. And the only reason I don't do that is because I want to like create the relationship with them naturally from them liking my posts about the group. And sometimes that works. I think it's good to do it like rarely, but I also think it's good to just like make your group sound like the greatest opportunity that ever hit the planet Earth. And I think it is, because it changed my life. And I know none of you guys are all probably sitting here because some type of transformation went down, and you never want to hold someone's freedom in your mouth. Like, you never want to keep, I think Brad Bizjack said that on our team call last week. You never want to keep somebody from literally transforming their life because you were too afraid to talk about it. And I think when it comes to stories, make sure you have a form in your bio. That has been a game changer for me, because I feel like people are super weirded out over like, message me. They're like, what do I message you about? Right? They have no idea how to start the conversation. So they're just freaked out from the beginning and they're never going to message you. A lot of times people don't want to publicly commit, AKA like comment below, because they might not want like their cousin to see it on Facebook. They might not want you to see it like publicly. Like, the whole thing is vulnerable. Like, the whole process that we take people through, guys, we have to remember it's a super private, vulnerable process. So just understand that like doing it in that private way is a lot easier. And that form is basically the conversation starter for them. They don't have to know what to say to you. They just fill out the form, and then you can literally start the conversation from there, which already knowing like their fears, already knowing what they struggle with. And it's a lot easier in post to just be like, you know, reach out anytime, start the conversation in my bio. or see the link in my bio, I have 5 more spots. I definitely do that like at the end of posts. I kind of meant like I hardly ever do like, join this group and you will get this, 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 this. And we start on this date and this and this and this. And I never put the date in posts because I don't want people to know the date. Haha. I don't want someone to know that I'm starting a group like 2 days after they get back from vacation, because they're just automatically ruling it out. They're like, nope, can't do it. I'm going to spend too much money. I'm not gonna be able to do it. Or, you know, I don't want them to know the date, because people will find any reason to rule something out. Like if they're really afraid, or, you know, that it's just that like, it's so natural for the human brain to talk ourselves out of something. So if you give them too much, they're going to talk themselves out of it before even talking to you. But if you get to talking to them and you realize like they have all these goals and you know you can help, then you can really present it to them where it's like, the fact that they start after vacation or they start on vacation, that's not even a problem because of XYZ. So I guess the last thing is I would, you know, you guys get off here and just take action. Like at the end of June, I was really stressed with where my business was because I knew that I had not been commenting and liking and connecting with new people. And yes, it's a slow process to grow your Instagram. Yes, it's a slow process to connect with new people and bring in new coaches, but like you just never know. And that brings me back every day. I'm like, I never know who I'm going to get to talk to today, who is like either going to need this or is going to like become the next top 10 coach or is going to lose 150 pounds. And I think about that when I go look through hashtags and I'm commenting, because on Instagram now, commenting on people's pictures and loving on them through stories, that's kind of like the new way to connect. It's not necessarily like the, hey girl, how are you? It's like comment on their pics, love on their stuff, follow them and reply to their stories, because that's a little less awkward way of starting a conversation. And then make sure you're doing that because you're going to wind up and be like, I don't know who to invite. I don't have new people liking my posts. Why don't I feel like I have anyone to talk to? And it's because we missed the first step of connecting and liking and commenting and following new people and bringing new followers in. And then from there, they're going to see your posts and then you can connect with them. But just know that like what you do right now is like who you go connect with right now and follow and comment, they could be who you invite next week. And then from there, that invite is going to be your follow-up a week later. And then that follow-up is going to be your follow-up a week later. And then that follow-up is going to be your follow-up. And then they're finally going to sign up. You know, like it doesn't always take that much, but what you're doing right now is setting you up for your next 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks, months. So get off of here, make a post, be excited, talk about something that makes your stomach kind of turn, and go talk to people from your previous posts. I know you have people who you've been afraid to invite, you've been afraid to message, because we all do. Just go talk to them, be normal, don't overthink it, and have fun with it. And then I'll leave you with this quote from Carl because I love him so much. He said one time, I forget where it was that he said it, but he just said, when in doubt, work harder. So if you are not where you want to be, work harder. If you haven't reached the Success Club goal that you want to reach, just work a little bit harder. Talk to a couple more people, you know, have a little bit more ante. And I promise you, you will make it happen. So that's all I got.
That was so good, Mackenzie. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions you want to throw Mackenzie's way?
Yeah, I hope I gave you guys enough for like navigating conversations, because I know that can be like the hardest part. So if you have any questions about like that, yeah, all good. I'm glad you guys liked it.
Nothing at all. What? Okay, I have one question.
I'm just reading the chat. Okay, go ahead.
What was one thing you felt like you did to take it from, oh, I'm just gonna hit Success Club, to like hitting SC20?
That's a good question. So I didn't really tell you guys a lot about my story, because honestly, if you go to my social media, you'll probably figure it out. I started the business when I was young and I was a bartender. And then I moved to Jacksonville and I was like super bummed out about the fact that I couldn't see my family whenever I wanted because I just moved like 12 hours away. And I finally realized I need to quit my bartending job and do this full time. So it was a definite back against the wall type of thing because I looked at Success Club as that thing that I can control, that income that I can control. I looked at it like if I'm helping more people see more transformations, I'm probably going to have a higher chance of bringing in more coaches because more people getting transformations to me equals more opportunity for rock star coaches, more volume, more. It just, to me, it was like more of everything because everything started with Success Club. But also at the same time, I knew that was a way for me to control an income that I was bringing in. And I stopping working. Like, I think we hit Success Club and then we're like, okay, like, I'm gonna chill. And I just started to like continuously make that a mindset. Who can I help? Who can I help? Who can I help? Instead of like, oh my God, it's the 20th and I need to hurry up and it's Success Club. Because then it's like at the beginning of the next month, we're so burnt out and we're like over it that it's not as exciting and fun. And we don't really have that good energy around it. So I feel like if you can just be in that constant state of like, what can I do more? How can I help more people? How can I, do more? And never rule out like completion packs, like old customers. That was the most genius thing that Beachbody's ever done. But like with 80-Day Obsession launch and the Lift 4 launch, a lot of those people were repeat customers who ended up just getting the completion packs and signing up as like discount coaches or customers. But it was definitely an understanding that like it was something that I can control. And if I wanted more out of my business, then I needed to help more people. And I just think everything starts with that challenge pack because, I mean, I wouldn't have become a coach if I hadn't seen the transformation that I did because I was like, this is insane. And like that paying it forward mindset. I know people come into this for the business opportunity and that's great too. But I just feel like, volume, retention, coaches, things like that, it all starts from helping more people. So I don't know if that helps.
Yeah, totally. So I want to throw a challenge out to you guys. Tomorrow's July 31st, right? And I know we've talked about the story. A lot of us has gone through a lot of ish this month, like more than I could ever wish upon anybody. But instead of waiting till August 1st, let's treat tomorrow like a fresh start. And go be your best challenger. Start with you. Because what did Mackenzie just say? She started with herself and she committed to herself and her journey. And so anytime I feel like, oh my gosh, this is just like chaotic or I can't take on something else, just do you and do your best you this week. You think we can all do that?
Yes. I love that. If you are committing, like seriously, the power of committing to a program, it's insane. It's like the joy like oozes from your skin. I mean, I'll be in between programs and I'm like kind of working out. I'm still drinking my Shakeology. I'm eating okay. But it's not the same as like when you start on day one of something and you see it through because not only are people seeing you start and finish something, but you're also getting back to that feeling of like progress and excitement and changes. And that comes across in your social media and in your conversations just naturally.
Yeah.
That's a huge part.
So tomorrow is our August 1st. Let's go all in, guys. Let's stop telling us the story of this happened and that happened and oh my gosh, all these things. The story is fresh. The chapter is new. Let's go knock the last day of the month out of the park. Thank you so much, Mackenzie. I so appreciate you taking the time, girlfriend. Go love on her.
Thank you.
And we will go knock it out of the park this week. All right, guys?
Yes, please do. Bye, guys. Thank you.